We are the foot soldiers. We are on the ground. All of you here have bodyguards. We don't have bodyguards. We had a colleague who came here from 3 a.m. in the morning.
All right,
we are
thank you
foot
so
soldiers.
much.
We know what's happening on the ground. And if you say it's a national dialogue for us, you can't shut us down. It's said that you are here because 2026 elections are coming. So you're trying to buy our silence.
All right, thank you so much. Let's give that a hand. And then I'm just going to pause here because this is what we want. This is the dialogue we have been called to do. We are in plenary. We're not going to go into dialogue now because I'm going to give you the reason.
This is not a dialogue. I have a question, ma'am.
You
I have
may
a question.
answer-
No, I have a question before anybody.
Excuse me.
Listen. No, excuse me.
We will-
Excuse me. First, you need to read the pedagogy of the oppressed. This process must be dialogical. It must not be one-sided. You don't come to talk down on us here. Number one. Number two, we are 4 members of the Rastafari community here. We are all bundled up into one theme. We represent a nation of Rastafari of 3 million South African Rastafarians. We can't go under one theme. We have issues that cut across everything that needs to be dialogued here. You don't decide for us. Nothing for us without us. Simple as that. And for the last time, this is a dialogue. Spend more time listening to us than telling us what to do. Stop talking down on us.
My fellow South Africans, gather around while I tell you about the greatest con job since someone convinced us that Telkom would fix our internet faster than a cheetah on Red Bull. The ANC has just unveiled their last masterpiece of taxpayer robbery, the National Dialogue. And brothers and sisters, this isn't dialogue. This is 740 million rand campaign rally disguised as democracy. Listen carefully, my people, because what I am about to reveal will make you angrier than finding out your electricity was cut while you were watching the final episode of your favorite series. They're calling it a national dialogue, but let me translate that for you. It's the world's most expensive group therapy session where politicians sit in air-conditioned halls eating catered sandwiches, talking about problems they created while you're outside wondering when the robots will start working again. The audacity, the absolute nerve. They want to spend 740 million rand. That's nearly 750 million rand to have conversations. My friend, for that kind of money, I could fix every pothole in Gauteng, buy every South African a price stand, and still have enough left over to bribe Eskom to keep the lights on at my house for a whole month. But wait, it gets better. When people started asking uncomfortable questions about this astronomical price tag, our dear President Ramaphosa suddenly developed amnesia about the budget. He is now claiming it will cost much lower and they'll use free venues like community halls and churches. The classic ANC mathematics. First you announce 740 million rand and then when people complain, you pretend you never said that. It's like ordering a 200 rand pizza and then when the bill comes, you're claiming you only wanted the free breadsticks. Do you know what 740 million rand could actually buy for this country? We could build 1,480 RDP houses. We could feed every hungry child in the country for months. We could fix our healthcare system, repair our roads, or even pay Julius Malema to stop singing for a whole year. But instead, they want to spend it on the political equivalent of a WhatsApp group chat that nobody asked to join. And the timing, the beautiful timing. This national dialogue just happens to be starting 18 months before the 2026 local government elections. What a coincidence. It's like your ex suddenly wanting to talk right before Valentine's Day. We know what this is really about. They're not interested in dialogue. They're interested in looking busy while they campaign on your dime. The funniest part is the DA has already withdrawn from this expensive circus. They took one look at this taxpayer-funded talk show and said, nah, Holmes, we good. Even Helen Ziller was probably like, I've seen some political theater in my time. But 740 million rand for a conversation, that's more expensive than my hairdresser. My people, let me explain how this scam works, because it's more sophisticated than a Nigerian prince email. First, they announced this grand national dialogue with fancy names and important sounding themes. Then they spend months traveling around the country, staying in nice hotels, eating at expensive restaurants, holding meetings in conference centers that cost more per day than most people earn in a month. And what's the outcome? A report. A beautiful, glossy report that will gather dust faster than furniture in a Johannesburg thunderstorm. But here's the real kicker. They are calling it uniting voices and shaping the nation. The only voices being united are the voices of ANC politicians agreeing on how to spend your money, grow their bellies, and the only thing being shaped is their campaign strategy for 2026. It's like calling a taxi association meeting a public transport dialogue. We all know what's really happening here. The Freedom Front Plus as well hit the nail on the head when they said this expensive dialogue has strayed from its original purpose. But I'll tell you what the original purpose was. It is to make you think they are listening while they plan how to stay in power for another 5 years. It's the political equivalent of nodding sympathetically while your spouse complains about something you're not really planning to fix anyway. So, can we also talk about these free venues Ramaphosa is suddenly promising? Community halls and churches? Brother, have you seen the state of our community halls? Most of them look like they survived the Anglo-Boer War and lost. You want to hold a national dialogue in buildings that don't even have working toilets? The only dialogue that's going to happen, my friend, is people discussing where to find the nearest working bathroom. The beautiful irony is that while they are spending 740 million rand to talk about South Africa's problems, they are creating South Africa's problems. It's like an arsonist starting a fire and then charging you to discuss fire safely. While you're struggling to afford the 5,442 rand food basket, they are budgeting nearly 1 billion rand to talk about stuff, political theater. But wait, there's more. They want to discuss poverty, inequality, and other pressing issues in air-conditioned venues while eating catered meals that cost more than what most families spend on groceries a week. It's like Marie Antoinette saying, let them eat cake, except now it's let them attend dialogue sessions while we eat the budget. My fellow citizens, this national dialogue is nothing more than a 740 million rand advertisement for the ANC. Every speech, every community engagement, every fancy brochure is a campaign poster paid for with your taxes. They are literally using your money to convince you to vote for them again. It's like your barber charging you extra to tell you how good his haircuts are while he's cutting your hair. And the best part, after spending all this money on dialogue, when nothing changes, and trust me, nothing will change, trust me, they'll blame the lack of progress and insufficient buy-in from stakeholders or the legacy of apartheid or global economic headwinds or whatever excuse is trending this week. It's never their fault. It's always someone else's problem. The truth is, my people, we don't need a 740 million rand dialogue to know what South Africa's problems are, because we live with them every single day. We know about unemployment because there's someone you know who doesn't have a job. We know about crime because you're scared to walk outside during broad daylight alone. We know about corruption because you see politicians driving cars that cost more than your house. We don't need expensive conversations. We need actual solutions. But here's what really gets me heated. While they're planning this expensive talk festival, people are literally dying in our hospitals. Children are learning under trees because there are no classrooms, and families are still going hungry because there's still no jobs. But sure, let's spend R740 billion to have to chat about it and have the room smell like saliva. This national dialogue is the political equivalent of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic, except the passengers have to pay for the privilege of watching the chairs get moved. It's democracy theater at its finest. All the drama, none of the substance. So mark my words, South Africa. Come 2026, when they ask for your vote, remember this video, remember this moment, remember me pointing at you like this. Because they spent R740 million for a conversation with no solutions. Remember when they prioritized political theater over public service. Remember when they used your taxes to fund their campaign while you struggled to put food on the table. The national dialogue isn't about uniting voices or whatever mumbo jumbo they try to convince you of. It's about reshaping their image and uniting their bank accounts with your tax money. Don't be fooled by this expensive carnival of words. The only dialogue South Africa needs is the one that happens at the ballot box in 2026. Wake up, South Africa. The greatest dialogue we can have is the one where we tell them exactly what we think about their R740 million talk show, and we can have that conversation for free in 2026. Mark my words. Watch if anything changes. By the way, my merch is out. That's right. Underneath this jersey, now I don't want to reveal my anatomy here. I'm just trying to show you the V sign, right? The V sign, right? My merch is out. Go to the.com at Shopify. Log into the Shopify app and search The Summer Store. Or you can say thesummerstore.myshopify.com. Or you can literally just search The and you will find me. You know where to find me. You feel me? I'll see you next time.
A plan is in motion. The first national convention of the National Dialogue is taking place as planned. And as the convener, President Cyril Ramaphosa gave the convention the thumbs up.
This is not a partisan platform. This is a national platform. Here, no voice is too small. No perspective is too inconvenient to be heard. We are gathered to listen to each other, to understand one another, and to chart a common path forward for our country.
The National Convention has faced criticism from some quarters. Addressing over thousands delegates on the first day of the National Convention, the President argued that the National Dialogue comes at an appropriate time. And he believes the process will help deal with issues South Africans face while fostering unity among citizens.
We are meeting at a time of profound challenges that confront our country and our people. Economic hardships that our people are living under, unemployment that continues to rise, inequality that besets our people, growing poverty, and a crisis of confidence in our institutions. We also meet at a time when the world is rapidly changing and our own ability to adapt and renew ourselves will define the next generation. But history teaches us that nations are not defined solely by their difficulties. Nations are defined by how they respond to the challenges that confront them. Our own struggle for freedom from the nightmare of apartheid proved that unity in diversity is not an abstract slogan. History teaches us that unity is a powerful force for change, for transformation.
And the President says money won't be wasted as claimed by some.
I shall not allow the taxpayers' money that amounts to 740 million rand to be utilized. We can have this dialogue much cheaper, much lower costs must be the order of the day. That is what we did.
He emphasized that, as planned, the dialogue will be a citizen-driven process.
This must be citizen-led. And today we are pleased that we are going to elect or choose a steering committee which will be a citizen-composed steering committee.
The president has urged all South Africans to join the national dialogue process, which is being launched at the National Convention in Pretoria over the next 2 days. Nhlanhla Khatlani, SABC News, Pretoria.